Hey everybody, here to talk a little bit about the Declaration of Independence and just give you kind of an online resource for analyzing that document. So, you guys got this assignment a couple weeks ago, and basically our goal is kind of understand the setup of the Declaration and you kind of try to find some of those Enlightenment ideas in the Declaration of Independence. And so, really, the two main philosophers that we are going to see within the Declaration of Independence is John Locke and Rousseau. Okay, both these guys are very big deals as far as influencing our founding fathers. So Thomas Jefferson, he obviously was very big into the idea that all men are created equal. Obviously, he said that. Whether or not he actually believed it is another thing. Sorry, the bell just went off there. There was also Locke, who believed all humans have God-given rights. And it was also Locke that said the power to rule comes from the people, okay? So that people give their consent to be governed. Rousseau also believed that power comes from the people, all right? And he also believed, and this is kind of like the philosophical foundation that gave the colonists the right to rebel. Rousseau argued that when a government does not protect the rights of the people, that they have the right to rebel. And these guys believe that these rights are God-given. And because these rights are God-given, it is not the government's right to take them away. Okay, the government does not give you these rights. These rights just exist because you are human. All right? And so these two guys very much influenced, people like Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin and John Adams and James Madison, some of our other founding fathers. Okay? So just kind of real quickly just look at the Declaration. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm just going to kind of, once again, try to highlight, how the Declaration is set up. Okay? There's basically four parts. All right? This is part one right here. Part one is basically just kind of an introduction to the document, basically saying what is the point of this document. Okay? And basically this point, this first part right here, is basically saying the point of this document is to declare independence. Okay. All right. So that's really the point of that section. Okay. The second paragraph, which kind of starts with "We hold these truths to be self-evident." I mean, this is the most important part of the Declaration of Independence. This is the philosophical argument as to why the colonies have the right to declare their independence from Great Britain. So we'll come back to the second part in a second. The third part of the Declaration is basically like just a list of grievances, okay? A list of reasons why the colonies are breaking away. So you can see all of these things here, all the stuff highlighted in blue. These are just things that the colonies are kind of listing as to why they need to kind of break away from Great Britain, some of the grievances they have with them. Okay, and then the final part right here is really the fourth part. It's kind of the declaration that we are indeed independent. We are free of you. We have no connection any longer. We are done. Okay, so we're just going to focus once again on that second paragraph. This second paragraph right here is the philosophical meat of the Declaration. So I just want to kind of go over it again and try to identify, some of those important parts. All right? So here we go. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. So right there is some Locke. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. So basically, all human beings, okay, have God-given rights. That among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's once again a great example of Locke. Locke actually said life, liberty, and property. Okay? That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the government. Okay? So here we see, here is the point of government. All right? So government exists only to protect God-given rights. Power to rule comes from the people. That's what that's saying, okay? So here we go. To secure these rights, so the rights that he just listed, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, governments are created, all right, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Okay, so power comes from the people, all right? So here once again comes the philosophical argument, kind of from Rousseau here, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to create a new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form. Okay? So here we see the document says right here that if a government does not respect your God-given rights, you have the absolute right to basically throw down and get rid of them. All right? Continuing on. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable than the right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. And here's kind of the really sweet line of the whole entire document right here. And if you watch the movie National Treasure, this is the one they always kind of talk about. Once again, it's very much a Rousseau kind of statement. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, which means tyranny, despotism means tyranny, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let the facts be submitted to a candid world. So once again, this one statement right here that I just highlighted, once again, a great example of Rousseau in the Declaration of Independence, basically saying that government is not respecting the rights of the people. Okay? Therefore, let us rebel. Alright? I should have put some like Rage Against the Machine on here so we can really get kind of that defiant tone. Okay? So really here we go, the first two paragraphs. Like I said, really the meat and the important philosophical argument of the Declaration of Independence. Okay? Some other things that are kind of interesting in the statement here, it says that all men are created equal. Okay, so does that mean simply Americans or people all around the world? Do people all around the world have the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? You know, does the American Constitution, the American Bill of Rights extend to all mankind? Or is it simply kind of an American thing? All right, so there's a lot of really cool kind of debates you can get into about the Declaration of Independence, okay? But really a very fascinating document that really kind of lays out, you know, what American ideals really are. So anyways, I hope this helps you understand the Declaration of Independence.